growing up. It wasn't easy for me and my family.
At one point, you have to make a decision. Am I the result of what people think, or am I going to make something different?
If I do something good, like, people won't say I'm from Quebec. Or if I do something bad, they won't say I'm Haitian. You know, I want people to know that you say I'm Haitian if you say I'm Canadian. Say I'm both, whatever I do.
Mathurin throws it down. Here's Mathurin, 4-3.
He's got a scorer's mentality. A star is born.
I always said I want to be a mentor and example for my little siblings. I wanted for them to say, well, my older sister did it, so I can do it too.
She's the reason why I started playing basketball.
I think Ben always had a hunger. Ben always felt that he was destined for something bigger.
I remember he would tell me, like, towards the end, they got so close.
My brother, you know, it was his dream to play in the NBA. As soon as I heard my name getting called, I was like, his name was called too. It just did it for all of us. I used to live right here, and I used to sneak out, you know, because I had a bunk bed, and my brother used to sneak out all the time. So every time he used to knock on the window and be like, yo, open up.
Benn Mathurin grew up in Montreal North, a community of close to 100,000 people, many of whom are Haitian Canadian.
The Haitian culture is pretty big in Montreal North. I'm Haitian Canadian. Like, I want people to know that.
I'm proud of being from Montreal North. I'm proud of being Haitian.
We at my elementary school, Adela des Rosiers, where it all started.
Benn Mathurin, c'est qui?
I feel like every time we talk about Montreal North, people always highlight just the negative side, like the violence, the gangs, the poverty.
T'as pas compris? Tu vas être derrière la ligne ici, tu vas faire un lay-up, tu vas prendre ton rebond, tu vas passer à l'autre personne. C'est bon?
Vas-y, on y va, on va gagner là.
I think there's just a lot more barriers that are put in place from a, a socio-economical level. So any kid that wants to, break that barrier has to work that much harder.
Tu vas garder Ben. You got this, you got this.
You want to show the people, listen, man, like, we can do this too, So obviously that's the mindset of young kids right now in Montreal. But every youngster you speak to now kind of understand they want to be the next Ben.
C'est qui la Ben? Good job, let's go, leg down. Oh yeah!
I feel like we've always had that mentality of, yeah, we're from Montreal North, but it doesn't mean that we're bad people.
I got something special in the jacket. Just my brother, my sister, and me. My sister was a big thing for me. She was going to school while I was taking care of us. Mom was working like 2 jobs, so she wasn't really home. My sister, like, she was basically like a second mom for me.
I took care of the homework, I took care of the food. When you saw me, you saw my 2 little siblings next to me. Basketball, it was the time where I could just escape and have fun. And then because I carried my brothers around everywhere, they were always on the sideline with me at my practices.
I was always on the side with a basketball in my hands. I wanted to do everything my sister was doing.
My biggest motivation was, if I keep pushing and if I keep setting an example, they're gonna see it.
Benn Mathurin was the original basketball star in her family, as well as the glue. Her younger brothers, Dominique and Ben, emulated her and competed with each other.
My brother was taller than me, stronger than me, quicker than me. He always wanted to play in the NBA since a young age. He told me that was one of his biggest goals. Going to the park and stuff, I wasn't trying to be on the same team because I wanted to prove I was better than him.
I was the #1 hype man. I was always the one like, yeah, they're it, but you never really think how people are gonna develop.
While her younger brothers dreamed of the NBA, Jen was struggling to pursue her own basketball dream because of her responsibilities at home. One of her coaches saw an opportunity to help.
I had coaches telling me, like, you could go in the States. So I'm putting more time in the gym, and it just kind of became, I guess, an issue at home because I couldn't help with the burden. that my mom had. And it just got to a point where I had to leave the house.
I told her that, listen, I know things are rough at home, and I think that if ever you need someplace, you wanna come to sleep one night, or a week, or a year, my door will always be open for you.
His solution was to provide a stable home because I didn't have one.
My goal was to get that kid an education, and through the education, do whatever she wants to do with her life.
Staying with Michelle gave Jen the chance to focus on school and basketball. She wound up with a scholarship to NC State, and when Ben was 11, he went to visit his sister on campus.
She really motivated me and helped me see a different perspective about basketball, you know. In fact, she went to D1. College made me want to go D1 as well. She helped me see the game a different way. So coming back from my sister, from NC State, I was on a mission.
I was in college when it happened, so I remember just getting calls and messages saying, your brother's in the hospital. He was going back home from school and riding a bike, and then he was hit by a car. And then the next day he passed away.
I didn't understand after probably 2 months. I didn't see him come home. It's just everything was really different. I really had nobody to talk to at night.
It was just surreal, very surreal, because when I would come home, I'd come home to see my brothers. And he just wasn't there.
We didn't really talk about how hard it was because I was really young, and she wasn't really trying to tell me things just to bring, me being sad.
After losing his brother Dominique, Ben started to drift towards a more troubling path.
I was getting calls from people saying, Ben's getting into a bad crowd and he's not really focusing on school. So I remember I called Michelle and I was like, look, I know it's a big ask, but can you please just take my brother? We'll talk to my mom, we'll figure it out. And he didn't flinch. He just said, okay.
I know it was hard to tell Ben that you're not gonna go hang out in Montreal North. You're gonna have to focus on academics, but you will play basketball, and I will try to give you the best that I can to have you succeed on basketball.
I think he's an amazing human being, and for him to do that, it just says how much of a good person, of a good heart he has. It's just unbelievable because not a lot of people would do that.
I came here for a year and a half. It literally made me the man I am today.
When Ben was 15, Michelle found an opportunity for him at the NBA Academy in Mexico. He flourished in the program. 2 years later, Ben committed to play at Arizona and became a Division I player, just like his sister.
Freshman year, coach told me, you don't have competition to get a starting spot. So I'm I gotta prove myself.
And the three for Benn Mathurin, a 6'7" freshman from Montreal.
I was super proud the entire time because as a big sister, you just want to see your siblings succeed.
When I decided to go back for another year, people started talking and stuff, and they were like, I would take him to top 10. So when I was projected lottery pick, I was like, okay, now I got a target on me. I got the eyes on me.
His growth from his first year to last year, where he became a primary scorer and a guy that could go out and hang 30 on you. He's a fighter out there, and I'm a big believer in Benn Mathurin and his ability level.
I told him, listen, if you can have 1 or 2 big games like that every month, for sure, you will be one of the top 10. He told me, listen, 1, 2, what do you mean?
Ben in his second season, not only he was a box office talent, he was shooting threes, he was dunking on guys. he was the guy that people are going to want to become like one day.
I'm excited, man. You know, it's a great time for me and my family. Looking forward to get drafted.
With the 6th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Benn Mathurin.
Highest drafted player ever from the city of Montreal. And you see the emotions taking over.
I started realizing I'm actually in the NBA.
I'm extremely proud. Give your sister a hug, boy. This is an incredible moment for you guys.
My brother, you know, it was his dream to play in the NBA. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna live the dream.
He's gone, but he will never be gone. So at that moment, he was still there with us. It's just like all the ups and downs and the sacrifices, the loss, the pressure, the good times, you know, all that to just be wrapped up in like, he's gonna put that hat on his head, you know. It was just a beautiful moment.
It's my first time being back here since I was like 14. We still have a hoop right there. No net, no backboard, just a hoop. I swear it's nice though. Just, you know, seeing where it all started.
You got younger kids who are 5, 6 years old now who look up to Ben. Ben is their guy.
Sa façon de jouer. Aussi, comment dire, il se déplace beaucoup, il shoot, il fait un peu de tout. I think that's very great, you know, a kid from Montreal North, you know, that inspires me to, you know, make it to the big leagues just like he did.
There's a lot of kids right now from Montreal who's looking up to me. But just me being the newest one who's showing, you know, love to the people back home, it's like it makes them think that everything's possible.
There's times where you think, okay, this is gonna go left, you know, but no, it keeps going right.
I went through a lot of struggles, but I was able to make it through. And just to really like live the moment and being able to now talk about my past, you know, was for sure like, it's a great thing to do.